Right now, there's a terrible thing that's about to happen because millions of Americans are about to lose their homes. And the unfortunate thing is there's nothing we can do about it. Today I'm going to explain what's going on. Today I'm going to explain what is happening and how we've been set up to fail. That's the worst part, is that we can't do anything about it and we've been set up to fail. So, I'll break all this down in just a moment, but if you are either a homeowner or a renter, this video and what I'm about to talk about is going to impact you a great deal. So, make sure you stick around and I'll explain exactly what is going on and how it's going to impact you in the very near future. But look at this. It says, home insurance as you know it is doomed. You're not ready. It says the remedies for homeowners so far aren't preparing them for a financially stable existence as the risk of disaster increases. The disasters that we are facing right now, wildfires. I live in Washington State. We get a lot of wildfires. We get a lot of smoke. What about people in Florida? Hurricanes. But it's not just Florida anymore. Everybody was saying, oh, it's Florida. Florida. That Florida insurance is just going sky high because of hurricanes. Well, what about North Carolina, South Carolina? What about the whole East Coast? And then we still have, wildfires in California. We still have, there's fires in Hawaii as well, but we also have hurricanes, tsunamis. There's warnings. But look at this right here. It says homeowners insurance costs have shot up 70% since 2021. How do we stop this? There's nothing we can do. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. I do want to read you a little bit of this though. Look at this right here. It says right here, almost half of property insurance policyholders in the U.S. said their premiums rose over the past year, the highest rate of increases in more than a decade. It says the average homeowners insurance costs have risen nearly 70% over the past 5 years, according to data from ICE Mortgage Technology. On average, single-family homeowners with a mortgage now pay $2,370 a year for their property policy. In 2025, homeowners insurance costs have risen most sharply in California, where premiums in Los Angeles were up 19.5% compared to a year ago. In 1 year, went up 19.5%. That's in California. Now, it doesn't stop there. Okay? Look at this right here. It says state data shows Utah home insurance premiums jumped more than 7 or 40% in some zip codes. 40%. Okay? It says it's actually 41% in 4 years. 41%. Look at this. I'll show it to you. It says right here, between 2018 and 2022, homeowners in several parts of Utah saw premiums rise more than 40%. In Weber County's 84404 zip code, which includes North Ogden, Harrisville, Far West, and Plain City, the average cost of coverage increased by 41%. Yeah, it's going up. Again, but there's nothing we can do about it. And many people ask, well, can't we just do this? Can't we just get less insurance? Well, you could get less insurance, but what if something happens? You're not fully covered. Could we just remove certain pieces? Well, you could, but then what happens? You're still not fully covered. Somebody asked me, well, it doesn't make sense. These companies are making so much money. The only reason why, and again, insurance companies are making a lot of money. Okay? They're making billions and billions of dollars every single year because their business, okay, it relies on you to be concerned, for one, but they don't pay out unless there's some type of disaster, some type of catastrophe, a loss. That's what insurance is. Okay? But here's what's crazy. The cost of homes are getting more expensive. That's why insurance premiums are getting more expensive. Because if your home were to burn down, then the cost on the insurance company to replace that home, being that the cost of labor is more expensive, cost of raw materials, finished materials, everything's more expensive. Copper, more expensive than probably when you built your home. This is going to cost the insurance company more money. That's why they're asking you to pay more. But again, it's a huge issue. Unfortunately, we do know that California homeowners are about to see higher insurance premiums. And as this happens in California, Florida, Texas, in South Carolina, in Washington State, okay, in Montana, in Utah, as even in New York, as more people are required to pay higher insurance premiums, they're going to lose their homes. Okay, I want to be very clear on this. We are currently seeing homeowners are struggling to pay just their mortgage. That doesn't account for any type of insurance. That doesn't account for any type of maintenance. Okay, property taxes. When you start to factor in those things, it's ridiculously high, and most people actually can't afford it. Look at this though. It says insurance prices threaten an affordable housing oasis in Hawaii. Again, it's not just in California and Florida. And everyone thinks, oh, it's California, it's Florida. No, it's every single state out there. And I said this back when we saw the fires in Los Angeles County. I said that what insurance companies are already setting up is for the rest of the United States to cover parts of that loss. Because what these insurance companies couldn't do, they couldn't just tell all the people in California, hey, I know you lost your home, but now homeowners insurance is getting more expensive. This is what you got to pay. Every single person out there, myself included, I have to pay more. In Washington State, I have to pay more for homeowners insurance because people in Florida, because of people in California, because the lawmakers in both states. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Look at this though, okay? Texas homeowners insurance rates on the rise, and it's going up. We know that, okay? But what are people going to do about it? Well, lawmakers seek to investigate New York's soaring home insurance rates. That's what we learned about a month ago. Okay? I want to read something to you. It says the property... Well, if I can find it. It says right here... pull that up really quick. It says... where is that? The property and casualty insurance industry in the state is a lucrative one, according to 2023 estimates. There are over 1,100 property and casualty insurance companies in New York, valued at around $2.6 trillion. Those companies include many of the largest in the country, such as State Farm, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, Geico as well. The lawmaker said that they would be seeking to understand that causes behind increases in premiums and will hold a hearing this year to hear from impacted property owners, developers, and homeowners across the state. What we are going to see is people are going to push back. People are going to drop coverage just because they can't afford it. This is why it's going to turn into a problem. As we see more and more homeowners drop coverage, if a disaster were to happen, they cannot pay that back. They cannot go back and live in the home. They can't fix it up. They can't do anything with it. So it puts the lenders at risk. But at the same time, now the city, these counties could be at risk as well because, again, there's no home. If there's no home on the property, how much is property taxes really going to be? Especially if that home gets wiped out because of a flood, because of a hurricane, because of a fire. I'm just here to tell you that we are going to see insurance rates increase. Right now, we've seen many states try to put a cap on it. But these insurance companies are now pretty much going to the federal government saying, hey, we can't run our company because this state, like California, is telling us, no, we can't go higher than this. But at the same time, if the federal government says, you know what, you're right, you need to be able to run your business, we can't have them dictating, guess what's going to happen? Rates are going to jump up, go sky high. And when they do, millions of families will not be able to afford their insurance, which means they'll likely sell their home, which is most likely going to happen, or they're going to just move out. Those two things could be problems. So, we'll see what happens in the very near future, but let me know. How much has your homeowner's insurance gone up? Or if you're a renter, how much has your rent gone up? Because I guarantee a good portion of that increase is all because of homeowners insurance.